Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope that you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, I am also fine by the mercy of Almighty Allah. Welcome to ANIVS Home School. This is Mizanur Rahman, Assistant Teacher of Islamic Studies of National Ideal English Version School, Morning Shift, Bonasri, Dhaka. Today, I would like to take an Islamic Studies class for the students of class 7. Our today's topic is Assignment 2 discussion. Today's topic is Assignment 2 discussion. Inshallah, I will discuss about the assignment, how you write down your Assignment 2 for the subject of Islamic Studies. Please come to the board and listen. Class 7, subject Islam, term annual, topic Assignment 2 discussion, lecture number 27. Okay, dear students, let's come to the board and listen. Assignment 2 discussion. This is the stem of your assignment. Mr. X regularly goes to the office in decent attire. All colleagues and service recipients are fascinated by his behavior. His colleagues, Mr. Y, runs multi-purpose institution for taking care of endangered plants, sick and hurt animals in his locality. This is the stem for assignment. Then come question number C. Which quality of akhlaq hamida exists in Mr. X? Explain. Mr. X quality, we know that, we've seen that Mr. X regularly goes to office in decent attire. This is the main quality. He goes to the office in decent attire. All colleagues and service recipients are fascinated by his behavior. All colleagues and service recipients are fascinated by his behavior. These two qualities of Mr. X. He goes to office in decent attire. And second quality is all colleagues and service recipients are fascinated or pleased with his behavior. Number D. Analyze the activity of Mr. Y according to your textbook. We see that his colleague, Mr. Y, his colleague, ex-colleague Mr. Y runs multi-purpose institution for taking care of endangered plants. He runs activity of Mr. Y. He runs multi-purpose institution. He runs multi-purpose institution for taking care of endangered plants, sick and hurt animals. This is the activity of Mr. Y. Runs multi-purpose institution for taking care of endangered plants, sick and hurt animals. So this two question, it is C is it is related with the at-tahzib, or according to STEM, Mr. X exists sense of decency. Mr. C's or the Mr. X quality is exist with sense of decency or decent. And Mr. D, his activity is related with the khidmatul khalq, or looking after the creatures. Okay, dear students, let's come to the board and see answer of question number C. Answer to the question number C. According to STEM, Mr. X exists sense of decency, which is called in Arabic at-tahzib of akhlaq hamida. Decency of akhlaq hamida is the main quality of Mr. X. Decency is behavior that which is good, moral and acceptable in society. Arabic word for decency, tahzib, meaning politeness, humility and shyness. Okay, maintaining politeness and speech, gesture, posture, dress up, and manners is called decency. This is the short definition of decency, because you should write down the quality of X which is related with decency. So firstly you have to give short definition of decency. Then you have to write down the quality of akhlaq hamida exists in Mr. X. Explain. Then you have to explain the decency, because decency, this quality is related with the akhlaq of Mr. X. So you have to now explain the quality of X, which is decency. Now write down the explanation. Firstly you have to find out points. Then you have to write down every point, 3 or 4 lines or 5 lines for every point, such as decency is a great human virtue. Then you have to write down some lines or some information about decency is great virtue, great virtue of great human virtue. And then mention decent behavior cares friendship and sympathy. Decent behavior creates friendship and sympathy. Okay, dear students, if any person make his behavior decent, then he get a lot of friends in the society. Not only in our society, he also get a lot of friends in all over the world. So we have to make our behavior with decency. Okay. Then decent dress is symbol of beauty. This is also be a key sentence. Then you have to write down some information about this. Decent dress is symbol of beauty. Like this, we know that Mr. X go to the office in decent attire. You can write down here that decent dress is symbol of beauty. When any person wear the good and decent dress, then every person respect him and he will be very honorable person in our society, in our all places. So decent dress is very important for beauty. And like this, you have to write down more points. You have to write this answer. See chapter 4, lesson number 3, page number 85. You can see this page. Chapter 4, lesson number 3, this sense of decency, 85 page. From this page, you can take help, a lot of help for writing the question number C. Answer the question number C. You can write from this page and taking a lot of help from this page. You have to write down every hadith and every verse's meaning as a answer or in the explanation of quality of decency. Okay, dear students, now come to the board and see the answer of question number D. Question number D. Analyze the activity of Mr. Y according to your textbook. We know that Mr. Y, according of activity of Mr. Y is nurse multipurpose institution for taking care of endangered plants. This is the first quality. And sick and hurt animals. He also take care of sick and hurt animals in his locality. So answer will be answer to the question number D. Activity of Mr. Y is relate with looking after the creatures. Khidmatul Khalq. Dear students, this is the very important clue for answer. Firstly, you have to write down this sentence. Activity of Mr. Y is relate with looking after the creatures. So then you have to write down the looking after of creatures. What do you mean by looking after creatures? Then you have to write down then you have to analyze the activity of Mr. Y. So you have to must write down this sentence. Activity of Mr. Y is related with looking after the creatures or khidmatul khalq. Looking after the creatures means to treat the creatures, all creatures of Allah, with kindness and sympathy towards them. In other words, the best of all creatures, man has his duties and responsibilities towards other members of the creation. Carrying out these duties and responsibilities is called looking after the creatures. This is the short definition of looking after the creatures. According to STEAM, Mr. Y runs multipurpose institution for taking care of endangered plants, sick and hurt animals. Analyzing the activity of Mr. Y. Now start the analyzing the Mr. activities work and write down this analyze of Mr. Y activities. See the page number, chapter number 4, lesson number 4, page number 86 to 87. Okay, dear students, you have to see the page number 86 to 87 for writing down the answer of question number D. Analyze the activity of Mr. Y according to your textbook. This is from write down from looking after the creatures, because his activity is related with the looking after the creatures or khidmatul khalq. So you have to take help from this page 86 page and 87 page for writing the answer of question number D. And it is also you can write down, then you have to start from here and take help from this page 86 and 87 page from write from yourself, not word by word from the books. So you have to firstly read this 2 page minimum 3 times and underline the key sentence. Then you have to write down for every key sentence 3 or 4 lines. Like this you have to do your assignment very carefully and completely. I hope that you have understood today's topic clearly, and it will be very helpful for writing your assignment, inshallah. Okay, dear students, I hope that you have understood today's topic clearly. Keep practicing at home and write wellly your assignment, because assignment is very important for you. It will be care of roll number in the next year. So you have to submit your assignment with very carefully after doing, so that you can get good marks, you can get very excellent comments, then you can get the first position or second position or third position in your class in the next year. Okay, dear students, no more today. See you again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.